Gordon Fisher. This is a different type of program than you're used to. FATV is nice enough to let me do this public service so that we want to introduce you to different Japanese martial arts. Tonight we'll be working on Iaido. Iai is basically a sense of awareness, and Do means the way. The art of Iaido is basically the drawing of the sword, thrusting, cleansing the sword, and returning the sword to the scabbard. And it has different scenarios involved. There are 12 that we'll be showing you tonight, being helped this evening by Jean de Sousa and by Brian Coffey.
Initially, one is bowing to the front of a dojo or to the place where you study to show respect for it. Then kneeling, the sword is prepared in front of you so that you can also bow to it to show respect for it, to let it know that you understand that it has the power over life and death. To finalize preparations, the sword is placed inside of the obi or the belt, and it's prepared so that you can begin practicing forms. The first form, called Ippon-me, mai, means front in Japanese. In this case, an attacker is in front of you.
And in this form, Dojo, we are kneeling facing one another, and we're having a discussion. At some point, the discussion goes violent. And when my opponent goes for his sword, I draw the sword towards his face and cut across his eyes, and then move in and slice through him. And then bring the sword and throw the blood and tissue off like you would a wet umbrella. Come forward to make sure that the body is inert, and then retreat. And then place the sword back in the scabbard, coming down for one last look. And then moving away gingerly as your life is almost taken. Second form.
The second form, Nihonme, is called Ushiro, which means behind. In this case, the enemy is behind you.
Again, Dojo. So in this case, I have Dojo. I'm seated here, talking to this bureaucrat when he gives a signal to a henchman behind me. And in this case, I bring my hands up to the sword without letting him know, and then go forward as if I was going towards the bureaucrat, turning and drawing the sword towards the enemy, cutting, and then coming in and slicing through. And then again, the chiburi, or the blood throw, coming forward, stepping back. Now, on this movement, if when you're coming forward, you could go forward and stab your opponent, but in this case, because the person is dead, there is no need to. So you place the sword back in the scabbard. The third one is Uke Nagashi, and we'll show you that one now. Again, in this one here, I'm seated talking to a bureaucrat. This time my enemy comes from my left, and I turn and see him coming and drawing his sword. I come and deflect the cut and then slice through him. This position is called a dripping chiburi.